This is Trend Following Radio, where great thinking comes alive. Nobel Prize winners, legendary traders, best-selling authors, and the pros that know what drive us irrational human beings. I am your host, Michael Covel. Not filtered, raw, honest. That's my passion. Are you new to trend following? Do you not know what it is? Or even if you do know what it is, here's your starting point. My trend following book, my Turtle Trader book, and this podcast. Specifically on this podcast, if you're into trend following, go to the footer at trendfollowing.com and you'll see a link for all my trend following podcast episodes. There you go. That's not exactly an ad or a PSA, but it's a good place to start for where I'm going to go today. Because that's the big picture. You got to do the homework. You got to go listen. You got to read. You got to wrap your arms around it. If you don't do that, you're just back to chat forums and listening to people talk bullshit on Facebook and Twitter. Let's talk about some misconceptions. Or maybe they're not even misconceptions. Maybe you just don't know. Drawdown. What's a drawdown? If you got $100 and it goes to $50, if it's still an open position, that's a drawdown, 50% drawdown. Not so good. I mean, it happens. It's normal. We all know it happens, but that's a drawdown. Now, the question is, how do you get to that minus 50%? Is it one market? Is it the NASDAQ going down 77%, 2000 to 2002? Well, that's not very good. One market is not diversification at all. But people often write me and they're worried about this idea of going down 50%. Oh my gosh, I can't take a 50% drawdown. That won't work. Oh my gosh, and they go crazy, right? Because they think that trend following is one market. It's not. I've never seen a professional track record of a professional trend following trader like the ones in my books, like the ones on this podcast, who take 50% drawdowns in one market. It doesn't work that way. Now, if you don't know how it works, you might be scratching your head. Well, how the hell do you lose 50% on your account? Well, that's a really good question. You do it by little bites, little cuts, and little cuts add up. What is trend following? It's about taking many small losses. So if you have a trendless period, a choppy period, a whipsaw period, over many markets and many small losses, there's where your minus 50% comes from in the trend following world. I hope for some people that was a light bulb moment, that you realize you get the 50% drawdown by following your system. Many small losses added up over across many markets get you to a deep drawdown. Now, I'm just painting that picture so you have an understanding. I can't tell you how many times in the last 10 plus years people ask me about that very issue. They don't wrap their arms around it. I think sometimes people read my books and still don't get that simple idea. Now, look, I'm not being cocky and saying it's simple because I'm all that, but conceptually it is simple. Many small losses added up in a trendless period, you can have a drawdown on your account that's substantial. Now, of course, I'm not talking about a system right now. I'm not talking about how you come out of a drawdown. Of course, you come out of a drawdown with trends. Big trends pay for the losses. That's the trend following mindset. It's venture capital, it's movie making, it's baseball, it's sports. It is so much of life today. Many small losses. Have a stop. If you got that, you got a chance. Because if you got that, you can survive. If you don't survive, what's left? You're financially dead. If you're financially dead, that's no good. You're just stressed out of your mind. Let me throw another one at you. And I've talked about this recently. Day trading. Now, since I just outlined how a drawdown can happen over diversified markets, tell me how trend following on 5-minute bars works again. Trend following on 1-hour bars, trend following as a day trader. How does that work? If you get a drawdown in trend following and it's spread over many markets, many small losses added up to get a drawdown. So what are you? Johnny day trader sitting there trading 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 markets as a day trader? Taking many small losses and getting your drawdown that way? No, you're not doing it. There's no such thing as a trend following trader on 5-minute bars. Maybe if you're Jim Simons and you have the staff and the technology, you can do something remotely similar at light speed to trend following. For the average person, give me a break. There's absolutely no evidence of trend following trading on 5-minute bars. 5-minute bars is the fantasy of the guy who's only got $100 in his pocket. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with only having $100 in your pocket. I've been there, done that. But if you're there, save more money. Get yourself a little bit of a nest egg. The markets aren't going anywhere. And if you think they're going somewhere, if you've got that feeling in your gut, well, now we're off to a whole nother issue. The psychological side. I mean, let's face it, most people that bring damaged psychological goods to the market are doing just that. They're bringing their damaged self to the market and looking for therapy in the market. The market doesn't know you. The market doesn't care about you. The market will never understand you. No one will. That's not the point of the damn market. The market is there for everyone to participate in, buyers and sellers. And if you got a trading strategy, if you got a trend following trading strategy, you got a chance to do something cool in terms of returns. That's it. Now, if you're a basket case, if you don't have a firm grip on reality, if you live in chat forums, if you have fantasy friends, if you're not really sure of your name, if you drink too much alcohol, if you do too many damn drugs, well, you're probably going to have a screwy, fucked up time in the trading world. If you don't got a clear mind, if you are all worked up imagining the profits, you're not a trader, you're not an investor. You're one of those old farts that you see at casinos in Vegas and Macau, sitting at the slot machines, the one-armed bandits. I guess they don't have arms these days. But you're one of those folks, sitting there like a bump on a log, throwing your money at the digital slots, trying to win the lottery. Yeah, let's face it, most people aren't trying to trade. They're not trying to invest. They've simply left the government lottery at the 7-Eleven and come to the markets to pretend that their trading and investing is really not the lottery. But if you haven't thought this all through, if you don't have an approach, if you don't have a system, you're like the scratch and sniff lottery guy. You're just gambling. Absolute 100% gambling. So yes, go ahead and believe the fantasy that you're going to be a trend following trader on 5-minute bars or 1-hour bars. And I'm sure if I listen to you a little bit longer, you're going to sell me some swampland and tell me they're building the next high rise there. I'm kind of on a roll today. Here's another one for you. Technical analysis. Now, I talk about this in my trend following book. I think I'm one of the first people to really lay this out. I see two forms of technical analysis, predictive and reactive. Reactive is trend following, which means you react to the market movement and you can't predict a damn thing. Now, that is the rare type of technical analysis. Rare in the sense that there's a handful of books about reactive technical analysis or trend following. Mine, a few others. The vast majority of books and understanding about technical analysis is of the predictive variety, the bullshit. Here is the squiggly line, this will happen next. Here is some indicator, and this will happen next. It's always about, well, you can see this, so this will happen next. I always wonder, where's the proof? For me, the most fascinating thing about trend following, reactive technical analysis, is that when I first got going into this, and I was a skeptic, I could find track records, month-by-month performance of traders, professional traders, with their audited track records on file with the United States government. Now, that was interesting information because you could look and see what did they do over decades. Then you could compare and contrast these traders. Wow, that's an aha moment. Because all of a sudden you have people not affiliated with each other's traders, trend following traders, and they're making money in March, they're losing money in April. It's a similar gain and loss. And then when you start to look at their leverage choices, wow, this was a Pandora's box of insights. That's the trend following world. It exists for everyone to go take a peek at. Now, where is that for the predictive technical analysis world? I've been waiting 20 years to see it. It doesn't exist. Now, don't tell me you got one person that you know. You got one person you're going to use as an example, because that's bullshit. One person doesn't count. The point of trend following as an example is that you had many practitioners over decades and decades and decades, different locations around the world, unaffiliated with each other, doing something similar, making and losing money at similar points in time. So if you're thinking right now, you have the secret one trader with this predictive technical analysis, and all you've got is that one guy, and you believe in that one guy. Come on, give me a break. You're just into religion. You're into cults. Because if you can't scientific method this out with many players, you're just bullshitting yourself. There's no secrets in the markets. There's no secrets in investing. You need a big trend. You got a big trend, you can make money. No trend, harder to make money. No trend, you better have a stop loss so you can survive. You see how the thinking is here? Just be clear. Be clear in your mind and you're okay. Be clear in your mind and you can survive. The only reason, and I am not being cocky when I say this, because most of them trained me. I learned from them. But the only reason the top traders, and even as my podcast has expanded beyond trading, the only reason people come on my podcast, especially trend following traders, is because they respect clear thinking. They want a clear mind. They don't want fantasy. They don't want BS. They don't run their lives like that. They don't run their systems like that. Now, where are the technical analysis podcasts where all of the big players are going? They're not. I mean, don't you guys get this? It hasn't changed. Go back to reminiscences of a stock operator. There's always a scammer, and there's always a sucker. Scammer, sucker, sucker, scammer. They fuck together. That's life. It's never going to change. The only thing you can do is change. Step back and look at the entire playing field. And then when you do, you can go to sleep each night like a baby. Because you say, oh, I know how the game works. I know how I have to participate. That's it. That's life. Now, I especially love that if I say things like I've said today, I've got the critics. Because if you're one of those people out there that's developed a messaging system that's entirely opposite to what I've said today, you're threatened. Damn straight you're threatened. You should be. And then usually they say all kinds of mean and nasty things about me, which I love. Because if they're not saying mean and nasty things about me, they don't care about me. I want them to care about me. I want the crazy ones out there. I want the scammers. I want them to hate me. I mean, I don't really want them to hate me. I mean, I'm not that angry about any of this. But philosophically, I want them to hate me. Because ultimately, they know that someone like me, I can see through them. I mean, of course, they can see through themselves as well. They know what they're doing is bullshit. But when you remind them, when you hold up the mirror in front of them, it's like watching the cockroaches spray out when you flip the light on in the bathroom somewhere in Southern America where those cockroaches, those palmetto bugs love to spring out from. What's the moral of this little monologue today? Don't be a cockroach. Be smart. Think clearly. Approach something like trend following with a clear mind. Approach it with an open mind. And if you can't prove it to yourself, walk away. That's it. Walk away. Who wants to spend all of their time going down some path? It's not going to work. Actually, you know what? A lot of people do. Because a lot of people really don't want success. They want drama. They want freaking drama. So if you take anything from my message today, it's real simple. Don't be a drama queen. Use the scientific method, and damn it, you've got a chance at some success in something like trend following. I see a time when those awake will understand how to make money in up, down, and surprise markets. Whether new trader or experienced, college student or financial advisor, protecting against a crash or just trying to make a lot of money, trend following offers everyone an answer in uncertain times. To get started immediately, send me an email, michael@covel.com. I will send you the right trend following steps to take along with my free video. But if you want to buy and hold, trust the government and trust Wall Street, this is absolutely not for you.